Hey guys, welcome to Brick Separator. Today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So I recently just beat this game a few days ago. I had a ton of fun with it, a really great game. And today I'm going to just go through and just kind of review it. So first we'll talk about the levels, which they're actually shorter this time around. I'd say most of them are around 30 minutes, where in previous LEGO games they could get up to an hour. So I like the shorter levels, just makes it more easy to, play them. So definitely like that. So the way it's divided up is into the trilogies. So you can start with any of the trilogies, so prequels, the original trilogy, or the sequel trilogy. So I like how you can do that, but you have to start in the first movie of each trilogy. So you can't start with Return of the Jedi, you have to start with A New Hope. So I hope that makes sense. But I do like how they have it set up there. Definitely, there's a nice sense of progression there, and you can start with, whatever trilogy was your favorite. So I like how they have that set up. Each movie, so there's 3 movies in each trilogy, and each movie is around 2 hours long. So I actually like that. It's pretty similar to the lengths of the actual movies. So that was just a cool little thing that I did like that. And that 2-hour time frame is actually just me doing like the bare minimum. So that's not, breaking everything in the levels and, doing all the collectibles and, side things you could do. So there's definitely like 2 hours is like the minimum, if you're going at a regular pace. So definitely a nice, length for each level. So the other thing that's new in this is the new camera angle. I think that's one of the biggest differences, just looking at it. I really like the new camera angle. Definitely is more immersive. Just kind of puts you into the action much better. So I think that's pretty good. One thing I did notice was when I was doing 2-player co-op was that it is kind of hard to see when using the blaster. So like when you use the blaster, it zooms you in a little bit more. So it's like kind of an over-the-shoulder view. And that is kind of hard to, see what you're doing when you have it split up in split screen mode. So it doesn't really work great there, but in terms of single player, I think it's a very, very nice addition. And next up, we'll talk about the open worlds. So this is something I actually haven't done too much of. I really just scratched the surface of these. Because I really just did the main story campaign and then haven't really gone into the open world stuff yet. But as far as I can tell with my short experience with it, it's just as good as any other LEGO game. They're a pretty good size. They have lots and lots of collectibles and side quests. There's a lot you could do. It's over, I believe, 1,100 bricks to collect in this game. So definitely a lot of stuff you could do, a lot of content in the game. I believe is over 380 characters, somewhere around there, which is very good for a LEGO game. I mean, LEGO games usually have a lot of characters, but this for sure was definitely, it felt like a lot. But I really liked that they had that many. So, in terms of other things, so boss fights, I really like how they're done. A little more complex than other LEGO games. I think it's pretty neat. You gotta dodge attacks and stuff, and some things where you gotta press X or something really fast. Just a little bit more than other games, but they're still relatively simple. They're not, like bosses that you find in other games, but they are actually a little similar to each other. They all have the same movesets, I'd say, similar movesets. So it is something. I've enjoyed it each time I've fought a new boss, but definitely is something I noticed that the movesets are pretty similar. So the Space Flight 2 is another new thing. I don't believe any LEGO Star Wars game has had space flights. Maybe wrong on that, but at least this is the most expansive it's ever been. But it is really nice. Like, I in space it was a little bit didn't like it as much because like just in the wide open space. Just because it's a little hard to see it you're moving, and I don't know, a little dizzying too, which I don't usually get dizzy from, motion sickness and stuff, but it definitely did make me a little dizzy if you're doing the space flight too much. But it definitely is fun with space, so I think that's really neat. But I enjoyed the space flight when it was, on the Death Star or on, loads up planet, because I just think there's more to see, and it's just a funner experience that way versus just in the open space. But overall, I think that's a really nice, part of the game. Definitely I could do there too. There's a lot of ships you can unlock too. So there's a bunch of different stuff you can get. You also have these things called capital ships, which are, just basically like the giant ships. So you'll get like the, Star Destroyers. You can even get like the Death Star, which is pretty neat. I still don't know too much about it, because I haven't bought them yet. They're like 5 million studs or something each. So definitely, it costs a lot of money to get them. So it helps if you get the multiple, times studs and stuff, but still a lot of studs to save up. So that's all the stuff I like about the game. So I have actually experienced quite a few glitches in this game. I've had issues in other LEGO games, but this one especially has just been, more prominent throughout my playthrough. So the first glitch I experienced was on Endor in the speeder bike segment. So actually, you're supposed to shoot like 4 scout troopers, and for some reason they just wouldn't pop up for me. So I do kind of it messed up the game, and I just kept like driving on and on. They would never just spawn into the map there, and eventually I just ended up driving off into like a black void. And so it was kind of funny at the time, but I had to restart the level and reset the game. It wasn't very good for that, but yeah, so definitely a pretty bad glitch here. Literally just drove into a black void. And then another one I had, major one, was on the Dark Maul level. There's a lot of issues here I had. First thing I noticed right away was it was kind of like blurriness. So there's like this like a visual effect in space where things get kind of blurry if you're like going fast and stuff. So I think what happened was that effect got carried over into the level. So I believe that's what was happening, but definitely it was weird how that it just kept going from normal to blurry to like it was just weird. Then when I got to this spot where you're supposed to chase Darth Maul, and then he kind of closes off these doors, and then he kind of traps you behind them, and then you have to do little things to puzzles to figure out to open the doors again. What I actually did was I was able to run past the door after as it was closing, and it actually messed up the game pretty bad. So Darth Maul was on the other end, and he just was completely frozen. I couldn't attack him at all or anything, and it was kind of a mess. So I had to figure out how to get back to the other side of the door to unlock it the usual way, and then after that I had to figure out a way to kill Darth Maul because he was still like invincible. So the only way I could actually kill him was if I killed myself, so jump off the cliff, and then I could get one hit in, but then immediately after that he'd become invincible again. So it was kind of just a repeat of me jumping on the cliff, hit him once, jump off a cliff, hit him once. So it was kind of funny, very unconventional way to beat a level. But I was able to beat the level. It was just a lot of glitches that just should not happen like that. Other things just include minor audio issues, this audio getting cut out, things like that. So there's definitely a lot of glitches in this game, and it's definitely not the best. Definitely something that needs to be patched, and something that definitely needs to be worked on by the developers. So it's something to consider there. But overall, I think this is an unbelievable LEGO game. It really is. There's just so much content in this, and you could have spent hours upon hours if you decide to collect everything, and even just the story's pretty long. It could take you anywhere from, let's say, like 18 to 20 hours, which is pretty decent. You know, not massive in length, but I'd say it's above average. And it's pretty good. I think this game sets a new standard for the Lego games series, and it definitely is going to be interesting to see, you know, what games they do after this, because I think this is just a very great formula. I think they perfected it, and it's definitely way better than other Lego games I've played in the past. And I play a lot of Lego games, and but this one definitely stood out as something that was just more enjoyable than the previous Lego games, and a really good game. So this would probably be a perfect score if there wasn't so many glitches. So if these glitches gets patched, it's probably going to be a perfect. It would be a perfect score. But since those glitches are in the game still, I'm going to have to give this LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga a 9 out of 10 Brick Separators. So if you liked today's video, be sure to check out some of the other ones here on the Brick Separator. See you soon.